Have you ever found yourself stuck in an impossible situation that you couldn't get out of in your business and you actually thought about giving up? Well, today I'm going to share with you a story about how I found myself in an impossible situation and one big lesson that I learned that I applied to my business that changed the game for me completely. One day, me and my wife decided to go on vacation on a place called Silver Springs. And when we got there, we decided, why don't we just go to the park? Because they had a park there where we could chill and hang out for a while. And I thought it was really cool to bring out my drone because I had bought a drone, but I didn't really have a place where I could just take it out and explore. And they had huge trees over there and they had a river, and I thought it would be really cool to just take photos of the scenery and try to play around with the drone and kind of see how far I can go and what more I could see, right? It was so exciting. So I took out my drone, we went out there, we found a spot in the park, and I lay my drone in the ground. And for those of you who have drones, they know how drones work. So you have to find a place where you launch it from, and then when you are bringing it back, you can actually tell it to come back to the same spot that you actually launched it from, right? So that's what I did. So I put my drone in an open area and I started launching it, and I launched it and it went up around 20-30 feet, and I decided to even take it up higher. And as I was taking it up, I started to see the beautiful scenery. Wow, it was a beautiful place. Like, I could see the trees, I could see people playing, I could see some of the animals, some of the monkeys. And so I decided, why don't I just take it farther so I could even see the river? But I was a little bit scared. I mean, I need to make sure that I don't drop it in the river. So I flew it in the direction of the river. And as I was flying it into the direction of the river, I started to notice that I was losing my signal. And so because I started to panic, I pressed the return button so that the drone can return back to where I launched it from, right? So I pressed it, and thankfully, even though it had lost the signal, it came back and dropped to the same location. And then now I was there thinking, okay, so man, that was fun, but I really want to see the river. So maybe I should launch it again and then maybe go to a place where maybe I'll have a better signal. So I decided to move to a different location, and I put the drone on the ground and I launched it again. And then as it was going towards the river, I noticed that it lost the signal again. So because I panicked, I pressed the return again, but instead of the drone returning, it went out of control and started just moving in all different directions and ended up actually slamming or going straight into a tree. And where it hit the tree, there was moss. For those of you who know moss, so there's like dried it's like dried like parts of a tree. I don't know, maybe I'll find an image and show you guys, but it's like dried tree that looks very shrubby. So the drone actually ended up hitting the shrub and getting stuck in the shrub. And mind you, these are really tall trees. They're like 30-40 feet up in there, and they're not the kind of trees that are they have branches going this way and that way that you can actually climb. No, these are trees that are just, they shoot up high and then they spread, right? So as like I'm there, my drone is stuck in the moss on the tree. I'm trying to like bring it back home and it's gone out of control, and I'm trying to move it because it's stuck in that moss, and every time I try to move it, the more it gets itself stuck. So the more it wraps itself around all those leaves and branches, and the more it remains. And I kept moving it and moving it and moving it, and eventually it just stopped moving completely. Funny story, I got a drone stuck on a tree. And that just the most beautiful thing. So wow, I was there trying to figure out, okay, what just happened? Like, I had control over this drone, but now, like, I've lost control and now it's stuck like 40 feet in the air. How on earth am I going to get this drone out of there? And I looked at it and it looked like an impossible situation. And my wife at the time, not at the time, she's still my wife. My wife at that particular time, she was chilling and she saw that I had stuck my drone up a tree, and she was asking me, okay, what are you gonna do? I was like, just give me a second, let me think. So I sat down and I started thinking, how on earth am I gonna get this drone out of this tree? Will I climb this tree? No, I can't climb this tree. First of all, it's been a very long time since I climbed trees. And then I thought, okay, should I find like some sort of a string and throw it? But where do I find a string? And even if I threw it, how am I gonna catch a drone that's stuck on a tree, like almost 40 feet in, like up there? So it was an impossible situation. Eventually, what I decided to do, I decided to take a bottle of water. I decided to put water in it, and then I would toss it in the air and try to hit it. So I would toss it. So I tossed that thing almost like, I think 50 times in the air. People would look at me tossing that in the air, and they would ask me what's going on. I tell them, hey, it's the drone, it's stuck. And some of them would actually offer to hit it. So they would take my bottom, throw it in the air. Sometimes I would hit it, but it would just not fall. Like, it would look like it's almost falling, but it doesn't fall. So I felt, okay, I'm just gonna keep doing that until maybe I hit it. So I kept throwing this bottle of water and trying to hit it. Almost sometimes I would hit it, sometimes I would be close, sometimes like I would not hit it. And then I persisted until at some point the bottle became weak and actually broke. So now my option was gone, and I was like, maybe I should just grab a rock. But if I use a rock, what if I hit it and I kill it? And that's when I had to just be honest with myself and say, okay, how much did I buy this drone for? First of all, I didn't buy it. I got it as a gift. Should I just leave it there at the tree? Should I just call it quits and say, okay, this is an impossible situation. Obviously, I tried to get it out. There's no way I can get it out. It's a long shot to get it out. I don't see any other way I can get it out unless like I find like a tree climber. And I don't know if those exist anymore. And we're out of town. I'm not close to home. We're gonna be leaving in a few days. So I weighed all my options, and it almost looked like I was just gonna leave it there. And then eventually I just decided, you know what? What if I asked for help? And the funny thing is, that was the first thing that my wife had told me when it got stuck up there, but I was there trying to figure it out by myself. But I said, you know what? I have tried. I mean, I may as well just see if there's anybody that can help me. And if they can't, I'm just going to leave it up there. I mean, count my losses. So I went to the area where the people that manage the park are. And I saw this guy that he had a popcorn stand. And I asked him, hey, do you know people that do any kind of maintenance on this park? And then that guy actually isolated an old lady that was walking towards me that had like a big trash bin. And when I saw this lady approaching, I told her, hey, listen, I'm going to ask you something that you've probably never been asked before. And I know it's a very unique situation, but I'm wondering, can you help me? So I told her my situation. Hey, I came here with my drone. I tried to fly it, and then it went out of control and got stuck 40 feet in the air on the moss on a tree. Is there any way that you can help me bring it down? And she listened for a while, and she told me, wait here. Let me go and check something. And so she went away. She went away for like 10 minutes. I was like, where did this lady go? And she's an old lady. She's probably like my grandma's age. And eventually she came out, and she came out with something that I have never seen in my life that was really shocking. So it was this collapsible stick that when you collapse it, it's almost this size. But if you open it up, it becomes one extremely long stick. Like I would say it's almost like 30 feet. Like it's an extremely long stick. And I was like, what? You have that? Like, this is a thing that exists? What do you even use it for? I was not even listening when she told me what she used it for. So I told her, you know what? This actually could work. And she said, let's go and try it. So me and this old lady, we walk towards the tree where my drone was stuck in. So we go there, and we get there, and I show her, you see that thing that's blinking up there? Yeah, that's my drone. And she looks at it, and she said, okay, let's try it. So I go underneath it, and I try to hit it, but it's a little bit too high for the stick. So I tell her, okay, I think I'm going to have to stand on something. So there were one of the park benches that were there. So she said, maybe we should try to move one of those benches. I said, okay. So it was me and this old lady moving this park bench. We moved it to the spot where the tree was, underneath where the drone was. And then I stood on that bench, and then I started hitting it, and I could hit it, and I hit it. And finally I hit it, and it dropped down to the ground. And I was like, oh my gosh, we actually did it. We actually got the drone. And I went and picked it up, and it wasn't damaged. Man, oh my gosh, I was so grateful. I told this lady, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You have to let me do something for you. Like, you've really, really helped me. Like, this was an impossible situation for me. I was even gonna leave this drone here and just go home, count my losses. But you have actually helped me. Thank you so much. And as I walked her back, she refused completely to let me do anything as gratitude for her. I was like, can I buy you something? Can I buy you like lunch, or can I give you some money? She refused completely. Until I went to the popcorn guy and told him, hey, I want you to make something and give it to her. I'm going to pay for it. So that way I just felt so grateful for this old lady that didn't know me, that decided to help me. So what is the reason for this story? The reason is I learned something very important from that experience that completely changed my life. And the reason is, sometimes when you have an impossible situation, your answer is not a what, your answer is a who. Right? A lot of times as entrepreneurs, we go through situations, we go through them. I know I have ended up in situations that are, oh my gosh, how do I get myself out of this situation? Whether it's hiring, whether it's having the right customers or customer relationships, or even just pricing, or even growing and scaling the business. And the problem with entrepreneurs is we end up with impossible situations, and we try to figure out what can we do. And yeah, it's okay to figure out what can we do, but sometimes the best thing for us to do is to figure out who is the right person to talk to that can help us in this situation. Because all the situations we've ever gone through, someone else has gone through them. And we have to kind of release the ego that we have to do everything ourselves and commit ourselves to asking for help. My former business coach always said, the smartest person in the room is this person that works on something for 90 days. And if they see that they can't do it, they go and find a coach or someone that can help them do it. And I have learned that the best decisions that I've ever made in my business has been as a result of me finding a who, and finding someone that would guide me, and finding someone that would help me navigate that situation. So when I got my drone stuck in a tree, I was all alone trying to figure out my problem. Who knew that there was actually a stick long enough to hit my drone? And who knew like it was an old lady that would help me? I just needed to be open to be asking for help. So if you're there and you're an entrepreneur, first of all, if you're an entrepreneur and you don't have a coach, a mentor, and a teacher, you are really going to struggle. There's a reason why people say listen, learn, and emulate. The reason why people say use those 3 words is because you're supposed to listen to a teacher, you're supposed to learn from a coach, and you're supposed to emulate a mentor. So a teacher is someone that shows you what to do. A coach is someone that shows you how to do it. And a mentor is someone that you follow on their footsteps, like you're following their footsteps. They've already done the thing that you're struggling to do. So you're looking to them to guide you so that you can do it too. So if you don't have a coach, a mentor, a teacher, you should go out there and try to find one as fast as possible. And if your coach does not have a coach, they do not deserve to be a coach, as one of my mentors says. So how you know that you're getting the right person is the person that you're getting help from also understands that they also need help, because there's no one that knows everything. So you have to be really open to getting help. And the faster you're able to get yourself to a place where you can actually identify people that can help you and actually seek them, the better it is for you. I know the best shortcuts that have ever happened to me has been as a result of coaching programs that I joined. I paid money, I invested in it, because let me not lie to you, free things are good. But the moment that you understand the value that comes from paying for something and actually getting the good stuff, that's gonna change the game for you. So anyway, I hope that was useful. I hope if you're in an impossible situation that you're able to find a person that can help you, and you'll be surprised at how easy your solution can be. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, and share this video, and I will see you guys on the next one.